What's good, fam? Thank you again for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. We're going to get the show started just like this.
Who am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name
Cameron.
is
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
We got some good questions today. I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement. I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works for the promoter.
Okay. So you are lifting weights currently?
It's not look like it.
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about these upcoming?
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the
Oh
Fan
my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
You were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right? Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real, real surprised at that, Ken.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do. Yeah.
Hey, what's good, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Here it is, April 2nd. A quarter of the year is already gone. Don't know what the weather's like in your area, but it's 55 up here in the Northwest. It's not wet out here, so we don't got a lot to complain about today. But fans, a quarter of the year is already gone. Like I said, whatever your plans are, whatever you had in store to get done this year, you better get on and get your horses going because the years is passing you by if you're not on your pivot, man. So get on your good foot, get this work done. Whatever you're trying to get done, Pappy. What's good with you, big dog?
Yo, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. Thank you for tuning in on this glorious Wednesday evening.
No problem, man.
How's everything on the home front?
I'm cool. I can't complain.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. We got a lot of basketball to talk about, man. That was a big night in the NBA last night. Kind of sad that Wizards Nuggets game ended the way it did because it seemed like Russell's end of the game action took away from what Edwards and Jokic was able to do. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was just peak Russ. Like it was just peak Russ. I mean, I don't fault him for trying to take the layup. Like, he probably should have brought the ball back out and dribbled some clock. But if you got a chance to go up 3 in that situation, it was a fast break. You're just supposed to make the layup. Number one, you're supposed to make the layup, and then the last thing you want to do is foul a 3-point shooter. But it's just peak Russ. But no, that was a great game. Jokic had 60, 11, and 10. That was incredible. Edwards, that probably was one of the it probably was the best basketball game of the season, just as far as like level of play and level of competition. And you can just see that I think guys are just getting ready for the playoffs and just the final stretch run, and these games all mean something. And for those two teams, like, I think it's cool because, obviously the T-Wolves beat the Nuggets in the playoffs last year. So it kind of seems like the T-Wolves, I guess, have their number. So I think rivalries are always good. I think the league is better when you have rivalries, and I think that could be something that could be like a budding rivalry between one of the best players in the league and a rising young star with Ant Edwards.
Do you think I mean, it's hard to say what we saw out of last night. We saw history last night. Nobody's ever had only 3 players that had a 60-point triple-double. Nobody has scored 61, so he has the highest scoring triple-double with the 61. It's hard to argue that he's not the best player, but then you look at Shea, what Shea's doing. Like, Shea got his team 9 games ahead of what they're doing. What's your thoughts on this MVP race, or is it even a conversation?
I mean, I think that obviously Jokic's numbers are incredible, right? They're incredible numbers. Like every single day, it seems like he's setting some type of record, or like we're putting his name up there with like Will Chamberlain or something like that. But at the same time, what Shea is doing, it shouldn't be lost on us as incredible as well. Like if you look at guards, as far as just guards in the history of the game, he's having one of the best seasons that we've ever seen for a guard. Like he's giving you 32 on 50% shooting. He's almost at 50, 40, 90. He's playing defense, and they have the best record in the league. Not by far, because Cleveland isn't that far off them, but they're probably going to finish with like 65 wins, right? So I think what Shea's doing has been incredible, and he's definitely been the leader of that squad. And I don't think that the Nuggets have won enough games to justify giving Jokic the award this season.
Is that a front office deal? Because since they won their championship, they just been taken away from the Nuggets. They haven't been adding anything to them to try to give Jokic some help. They got him Russell, but they haven't been. They're kind of wasting away his best years, aren't they? Would you say?
I just think it's tough. I think that for one, like when you win, guys get new contracts, right? You had to pay Jamal Murray. You paid Jamal Murray, I think $250. Jokic is getting his bread. Aaron Gordon got his bread. Michael Porter, I think, was a guy that you hoped could be like more of an all-star level player than what he's turned out to be. And then you also you've been winning basketball games, so it's not like you're picking high in the lottery. So all you can really hope for is internal development. I mean, Christian Braun seems like he stepped up and he's worked out, and they, don't miss KCP as much as I thought they would miss KCP. But I think it's again, when you win, people start having to get paid, especially with the second apron that you have now. I think it's just tough. And again, it is Denver, right? Like it's not like it's a marquee franchise. It's not like it's LA. It's not like you in Boston. Not like you in New York. You're in Denver. Right, so people have to also now. Denver is a cool I haven't been, but from all intents and purposes, Denver is a cool spot. But still, it's Denver, bro. Like I don't think people are just lining up to go to Denver.
Well, they're not lining up to go watch a basketball game in Denver. There's a lot of outdoor activities: skiing, hiking, horse riding. Man.
Ain't no 24-year-old multimillionaire trying to go horseback riding and skiing, dog. We're not trying to do that.
That's fair. It's not a destination spot for players. I feel you when you say that. I feel you when you say that. But they're right now they're three in the Western Conference. Can they hold that third spot, or is Golden State has also crept up into the 5th spot in the NBA right now, while Memphis is sliding back. Now, you told me, I got to ask you, because you brought it up a couple weeks ago, saying that your boy wasn't an superstar. Does his little trigger motions, finger guns last night against the Warriors, is that something or nothing for Ja Morant?
I mean, I think it's nothing, but it's Ja, so it has to be something, right? You got to suspend it for guns multiple times, bro, and you're doing gun motions at people on the court. Like, just stop. Again, I get it. I think Buddy Hield threw up the 3 thing first. That's like his celebration, and Ja threw it up back at him. But it's like, come on, bro. So it's gonna be something because it's Ja Morant, and anything with Ja Morant and pistols is at this point in time going to be something. And again, the Grizzlies aren't winning basketball games. Like, they're not the cute story that they were a few years ago.
Dude, why did they fire the coach? What is it, Taylor Jenkins?
Apparently, from what I've heard, I guess they were having issues with the offense that they were running. I think they ran the least amount of ball screens in the NBA this season. And you see, after he got fired, Ja magically appears and he's healthy again. So I guess it was something wrong with the coach or I guess they disagreed with the way the offense was going, and they weren't winning games. Like if you look, I think they're like 11-21 against teams with good records. Right. So like they haven't been winning basketball games. And again, like if you look at
up to a week ago, they were in second place.
But they still weren't. Yeah. Like, yes, they were, but they still weren't winning games. Like, all wins aren't the same. Like, if you beating up on the Wizards and then you can't beat the Lakers, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the Lakers kind of big boyed them a couple of years ago, so that is a hurdle they have to climb. It didn't even matter if they beat them when they played them a couple of weeks ago, although for mental strength purposes, it sure helped. But that wouldn't have mattered because everybody would have been like, well, can they beat them in the playoff? Can they beat them when it counts? Because that's when it mattered most. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of your Lakers, are they gonna make it? They're gonna make it to the playoffs limping, or are they gonna get out of the play-in tournament? Right now, they're 4 seed. They're a couple games out of that play-in. Looks like they're gonna escape that.
I think tomorrow's game will be really interesting. I think it'll be again, I said that the Nuggets Timberwolves game was the best game I've seen this season. I think that game has potential to be another one of the best games that we've seen this season. I think it's a huge game. The Lakers are back getting healthy. Rory is back now. Hayes is back on the court. They're getting their guys back. So I think we'll see. I think they do avoid the play-in. I think they do. I think that at this point, probably Memphis slides down into the play-in, honestly. And Memphis might not make it out the play-in, to keep it G with you, if they get into the play-in. So I think that I think the Rockets are probably pretty secure at number 2. I don't know if the Lakers move up to 3. I think that, I don't know, because Jokic and them are out tonight. They're probably going to lose to San Antonio because of all the guys played all those minutes last night.
San Antonio
back to back. But they're on like they're on like a back to back, and they played 60 minutes last night. So you're probably not gonna play guys again less than 24 hours after they just played literally 60 minutes in a very extremely high intensity game.
Yeah, the Spurs are up by 8 right now at halftime.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're by 8. Man, there's so much. There's still a lot to talk about. Jokic and that. If you watched that game last night, how do you stop Jokic, man? And does it? So you wanted to give a lot of credit to Rudy Gobert for being his defensive prowess. Mm-hmm. On the opposite side of the coin, we got Jokic doing everything offensively, passing, rebounding, scoring. Obviously, he put up 60 points last night, 61 last night. Do you distract from some of what he's doing, or subtract from what he's doing offensively because he doesn't play any defense?
I think that Jokic. I think Jokic has gotten better defensively. For one, you don't really see, for as much defense as we say that he doesn't play, you don't really see anybody put up crazy stat lines on Jokic. Now, granted, he has his deficiencies.
Well, the year Joel Embiid won the MVP.
But Embiid was averaging 35 on everybody. So if he puts 40 on you, is that really that like?
He put up a stat line. So
but it's like Shea giving you 40. He's averaging 32. Right. It's that's just what he just does. So yes, I do think he has his defensive deficiencies, and I think that that's probably why the Nuggets probably won't win the championship. Not just him, but them as a whole. Them as a whole. Yeah. But no, I don't think it takes away from what he's doing offensively. I think what he's doing offensively is incredible, and I haven't seen anything like it in my lifetime. As far as from this, I was gonna say from the center position, but as far as from any position, really.
No, oh boy, he's a total package on offense. The way he handled it. And it's impressive because he's not big, or he's big, but he's not fast. He can't jump high. He's just playing very grounded type of game that just that seemed to be good enough. So I really like what Jokic got going on. Was it more impressive his 60 points last night or Edwards scoring 24 in the fourth quarter and overtimes?
I gotta go with Jokic. Like the Ben had 60, 11, and 10, bro. Like it was times where it looked like he was the only person on the Nuggets that could do anything.
I mean, his backup move is exquisite, and they just cutting feet off of him. I mean, they're running a good system there. They're solid. They just keep taking away, and they haven't adequately refilled the pipeline since their championship. That's the only thing. The front office could be blamed for this downfall of the Nuggets over the past few years because Jokic is only getting better, but with less talent. And I disagree with you. I think Caldwell Pope. I think they are missing Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope was not a fantastic going to Denver. He was not a fantastic three-point shooter. He improved because he was shooting wide open jumpers over in Denver. He was a defender that they can count on and they can rely on. They don't have. You mentioned it earlier. They don't have, and I'm not expecting to get Jokic to be a lockdown defender, but they don't have that lockdown wing like they once had. Watson and Braun are not Caldwell Pope as far as the defensive side of the ball. Now, if you want to just go offense, I haven't looked at it, but you might be able to correct me. Are they scoring more points than they were that year they won the championship?
I'm not sure about that.
But I bet they're allowing more points than
you're for sure allowing more points
than that dude.
For sure allowing more points. They probably aren't. They probably also aren't scoring more points because again, Jamal Murray was much healthier that season. I know he was coming off the ACL, but he was much healthier that season than what he's been this season.
I mean, come on, Jamal, we're getting to a area, Jamal, where every year we're asking the same question.
I mean, I never thought Jamal Murray was. I told you. I think that we've never seen a player do more with less than what Jokic is doing. The only one that compares is Shaquem in 93-94. If you look at the team, nobody. I mean, obviously Russ has won an MVP, but I think we will all say this version of Russell Westbrook is not MVP Russell Westbrook. Sure. Meaning he's playing with somebody. There's no other All-Stars, no other All-Defensive teams, no other All NBA players. Ain't no six man of the years. I told you, I said it. I think this team is comparable to LeBron's 09 Cavs team.
Ooh.
I think Jamal Murray is comparable to what Mo Williams was back then.
Jamal Murray is better than
you say. Jamal Murray is better, and that's fair. But there's better guards in the league right now than what there were in 2009. Would you think that's fair to say?
Yeah, sure.
Now,
you say he's about in the same position.
If we start naming guards in 2009, you're gonna name about 7, 8, 9, 10 people before you get to Mo Williams. If we start naming point guards right now, you're gonna name about 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 people before you get to Jamal Murray.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But yeah, on his face, one for one, apple for apples, all things considered even, Jamal Murray is a better.
Yeah, I'm giving you that, but I think the point guards in the league are also better than what they were 15 years ago right now.
I mean, but we're at the point where Jamal Murray is coming down kind of like Harden. Can you get it done in the playoff time? Now he does have a championship that he can celebrate and he can walk into the room with. But that same question is, can he perform? Is he going to be ready? Is he going to be ready for the playoffs? We can ask that question. We've been asking that question for the last 5 years.
I mean, I think that's a little bit unfair. I think Jamal Murray usually elevates the game in the playoffs. The
bubble series, and they won a championship. What other playoff has he? The bubble series where him and Donovan Mitchell were going to score 50 points apiece, right?
I mean, shit. That
was solid. Don't get me wrong. So 3 out of 5, not 4 out of 5, but 3 out of 5 seasons.
The other year he had the ACL. Last year, I don't think he was terrible in the playoffs. Now, granted, we do have to. I watched the Olympics. I saw Bogdanović look a lot like Jamal Murray in them Serbia games, and I saw what Jamal Murray did when he was playing with Canada. That shit looked bad. So. I think the key component in all of this is Jokic, and then as long as you have Jokic, you have a chance if you can just put comparable people around him.
Fair enough. Dame Lillard out with the blood clots. I think that derails the Bucks. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought the Bucks would derail regardless. I didn't think that was a way that they were going to win the championship regardless. This season, but I mean, are we getting to the point where you will see Giannis request a trade? Like, are we getting to that level? I mean, even when the trade happened at first,
that's a whole lot. I don't see that, but there's a lot of talk out there. I think Giannis not being. If Giannis was an American-born player, I think there might be a bigger question. But him not being an American-born player, I don't think that's an issue. I can be totally wrong. That's my totally speculation.
You think he'll want to get traded because he's not from America?
He said initially, a few years ago, Milwaukee is good for him.
Yeah, I bet he did a few years ago.
But you think once he's been to New York and Miami,
you ask Giannis where he live at when he not hooping. I bet it ain't Milwaukee. I bet it ain't Milwaukee. I can guarantee you it ain't Milwaukee. If he got another home in the U.S., it ain't in Milwaukee.
Once he touched down in Miami,
he probably stay in Miami in all season. I guarantee you it's not in if he is in the U.S. when he not hooping, I guarantee you it's not in Milwaukee.
Oh wow. I could be wrong. That could be just my speculation. I don't, that'd actually be a great question to have answered though. But I don't think that's going to be as big as issue as some people make that out to be. We'll see how that goes. Adam Silver, I don't know if you heard his impromptu press conference that he had last week. He talked about the All-Star game was a miss. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was the worst. That was because it was. That might have been just as a television event. That was the worst thing I've ever watched on television. It was really bad.
It's a made-for-TV, certainly a made-for-TV event. So I didn't see it, but yeah, if you say that, I'll take your word for it. He said the USA versus the world ain't going to happen. Do you think because Chris Paul, LeBron James, KD, well, KD said he ain't talking to he don't want to talk to the front office. Do you think because of the powers that be, that's why I mentioned Chris Paul, LeBron James, your boy LeBron James. I didn't know you and LeBron James had shared a brew together.
Who?
You and LeBron James, didn't you guys share a drink together?
We didn't have a drink together, but like we were in the same place and I met the man.
Okay. I didn't know about that. Congratulations on the 300th episode, though. By the way, too.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You mentioned that earlier. Do you think USA versus the world? They don't want to compete in USA versus the world?
No, it just can't happen. Like the reason why is there's not enough players in the world to have it be fair. Where you have 12 actual legitimate all-stars from the world, you're gonna get to about 6, and then it's like, all right, bro.
Bogdanovich,
you putting Bogdanovich in the NBA All-Star game because you listen to what we're doing. They don't have the world on any given year doesn't have 12 people who are worthy of being all-stars.
I said that was my argument that they would be top heavy. They'll be top heavy, and then if you take
you're gonna get a starting 5, and then you're gonna start to be all right.
Yeah. Okay. So no. What's your fix then? What's your fix? Do you have a fix?
Ain't no fix. They just got to go out there and hoop. But I think it's hard. But also, I don't think that these things mean as much as they once used to mean. Like I think the All-Star game used to really, really mean something because, sometimes, some of those players from lesser markets, you didn't see them play until damn near the All-Star game. So that's how you raise your cachet. Like now, if you want to watch Shea play, you could just you could literally buy the Thunder thing on League Pass and watch Shea play every night. So I think that All-Star games and just all sports don't mean as much. I mean, look at the Pro Bowl, right? Like I remember when the Pro Bowl was an actual thing. Now they do flag football for the Pro Bowl. I remember when the home run derby was a little bit more of a thing. So I just think that All-Star games just in sports in general, we just don't hold as much weight as they once used to have.
Yeah,
not even All-Star game. Like, just look at award shows. Remember when the BET Awards was like a thing because you didn't see these people?
Right. That's actually a great point, baby. Appreciate it.
So
yeah, that's a great point about you. You see more of them. and the access is not as limited as it once was, where you didn't see him as often. Now you can see him, like you said, every night if you want to, or every other night. So it's not a surprise. That's actually great. That's actually a great point. Yeah, let's move on to that. Move on from that. If they took less threes, if they took the 3-point out of the All-Star game, how do you think that would affect the game? Eliminate 3-point shooting.
Why?
Why would you eliminate 3-point shooting?
Why? What's that gonna do? They gonna dunk more? Like they don't dunk in regular games that much. So you think they gonna that's not no. They just need to actually play. They need to play like they play in Rico Hines, right? Like they play harder in off-season workouts. If they play harder in off-season workouts than what they do in the All-Star game. Now, granted, from what I've heard from players, there's a lot of responsibilities. It's not just like you just show up. No, but I'm saying it's not just like you just show up and play. Like you do, if you get if everybody else in the league gets a break, you got to go and you got to do all the media stuff.
You're going to the kids' school, man. You're in a Benz van, take a ride to the kids' school, go shake a couple hands, shoot a couple jumpers with the kids, and you're out of there. Come on, man. That's something I'm not buying. We got responsibility. Or
I'm not either.
Or the Nikes having a party and you got to show up at the Nike party at 11:30 because they got a roster of people. Come on, man, cut it out.
I mean, I feel you. I'm not either. I'm just saying what their complaints are. I feel you.
Come on, man. Come on.
The stars of old did it. Why can't you?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even put it on them. But, bro, what are we asking you to do, bro? To show up at an event. You're not driving. You don't have to fight traffic. You don't have to fight parking. Like, you pull up, you're right door-to-door existence for you. So what are we complaining about, bro? Come on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just saying what they saying. I'm with you. I feel you.
I'd tell you a story about Lou Williams, man, but I'm going to put that Lou business out there. But I got a great story for Lou coming to the boys club when the Clippers introducing the new court. It was absolutely hysterical. I'll tell you about it. Remind me, I'll tell you about it.
All right.
The Pistons and the Wolves brawl from a week ago.
That wasn't a brawl.
Well, that's what people call it.
That was close to the stands. That was not a single punch was thrown.
Well, who was on DiVincenzo? He didn't throw a punch at DiVincenzo?
Nobody threw a punch. They just tussled with each other and fell in the stands. There was not a single punch thrown.
Okay, fair enough. Was that do they need to allow that or allow more fighting in basketball?
Ain't nobody trying to fight, bro.
Well, will they allow that right there, or we'll just get too much of that?
Ain't nobody trying to fight, bro. Ain't nobody really out there trying to squabble for real. Unless they got real serious issues, ain't nobody out there trying to squabble for real, bro.
I don't disagree with you. Then should that be allowed? That little tussling?
Because reality, somebody could get hurt. Like, what if it's an old lady sitting courtside or something like that, and she gets crushed by people, and then now you got a lawsuit or something like that. So no, it shouldn't be allowed. You can't fall in the stands, wrestling, things of that nature. People have to be reprimanded for those things. But I don't think it was some serious, issue or something like that. But you can't just allow people to just tussle and fall in the stands.
I'm with you, man. It's for all safety. If they kept it on the court, that's one thing. But yeah, falling in the stands is a totally different.
For sure. Somebody go out there, get hurt. Now they want to sue. Somebody go out there, break an arm, break a leg. Now it's a whole lawsuit. Now it's a whole thing.
No, I had the OKC Thunder. I got them going to the Western Conference Finals. I got Shea being the MVP, but we talked about kind of the only person on this trail I think is Jokic. The Celtics coming out of the East. The Celtics are about to win the most road games this season. If they win, I think they're 2 games off that pace. Most road games over the 96 Bulls and 15 Warriors, I think it was 15, 16 Warriors. Are you confident that the Celtics going to repeat?
I feel good about it. Like if you took me to Vegas, I wouldn't feel bad about putting money on it. I think that I think that they might be better than what they were last year. I think that obviously because Cleveland is doing what they're doing, which is kind of crazy. I think that we act like the Celtics ain't about to win damn near 60 games themselves. I think Tatum is back. Is he better than what he was last year? Brown's better than what he was last year. As long as those guys can go in the playoffs and Drew and Porzingis can be healthy, I think Peyton Pritchard is probably the sixth man of the year as it stands so far. So yeah, man, I feel pretty confident about that. Yeah. I don't think that it will come without contest. Like I think that there are definitely some teams. Like I think Cleveland can make some noise with them. I think that they can make some noise with them. I think
4-2, 4-2 Boston still.
Yeah, 4-2. I mean, the Knicks obviously when they get Brunson back, I think that they have the defenders to be able to match what Boston wants to do. So I don't think that it'll come without contest, but I feel confident in saying that Boston could make it back to the finals.
Detroit will play, as it stands right now, the playoffs started today. Detroit will play Indiana in the 5-4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Can Detroit beat the Pacers?
I think it's possible. I think that K will probably have his coming out party. I think K will probably average like a 30-point triple-double. He going to turn the ball over a lot, but he'll still probably average like a 30-point triple-double. I definitely think it's possible for them to beat them. I think that Detroit has been playing pretty good all season. Bickerstaff has those guys playing nice, and they've got the right amount of veteran pieces that they didn't have in other years. Like you bring in, granted, I know we say things about Tobias Harris, but Tobias can play. It's just that his contract was egregious in Philly, but there was a reason why he got the contract, because he was giving you about 20 points a night.
That's what he's good for.
Yeah, for
he's
sure.
He's not gonna give you that 22, the 23, 24.
No, he gonna give you 16 to 20. If you asking for more than that, God bless. But that 16 to 20, he got you on that 16 to 20. But you bring in him, you bring in Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, even we talking about the tussle, just having a guy like Isaiah Stewart in like a playoff series, like he seemed crazy. You don't want to, those are the type of guys that you need on your team. Asar Thompson, great defender. You bring in a Dennis Schroeder. He's been pretty good pretty much everywhere he's been. He's been a consistently good starter to backup point guard. You have Tim Hardaway Jr. So yeah, I think I think it's definitely I don't know if I would pick them to do it, but I definitely think that's a series that could go 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think that would be a great series, actually.
I think in that series, K's the best player on the court.
Oh yeah, over Halliburton, Siakam.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cade is a guy.
Yeah.
I think Cade is a guy who next season will probably get some MVP votes. Right? Like I think Cade is a future MVP of this league. Yeah, I think Cade is a future MVP of this league.
Oh wow.
I mean, I'm not picking him to win the award next year, but I think he'll definitely get some votes next year. Like I think Cade is a guy that I think Cade can be a triple-double nightly type of guy.
So you see this season is sustainable over versus the aberration.
For sure. And if he is that, I think that this playoffs will be his coming out party.
That'll be interesting. That's always good. That's always good to see. Orlando looks like they're comfortably in the 7th seed. They're competing with Atlanta. Actually, they're only a couple games ahead of Miami, who's in the 9th seed. So they're well in the playing seed. Milwaukee has 34 losses in the 6th seed. That's a 6-game disparity. So that's pretty much set right there. The play-in tournament: Orlando, Atlanta, Miami, Chicago. Your Bulls. Who comes out of that? You calling the Bulls to come out of the play-in tournament?
I mean, they could. I think Kobe White has averaged 30 points in the month of March. He averaged 30. Giddey has been playing much better. Like I like what the Bulls, the rookie Marcellus, ever since they got Zach up out of there, he's been playing good. Like I like what the Bulls have. We'll see, and I think that team is Billy Donovan. I don't want to call him a college coach. I don't want to disparage him in that nature, but I think that team fits the way Billy Donovan wants to coach more than having stars does.
Just a young team that who don't know the game, who's learning the game, who's learning how to play NBA basketball.
For sure. Like I think this team fits what he's doing more. But also, Miami is playing much better. Miami has won 6 straight games. Like after they got some of the guys back and healthy. I think that obviously after the trade, it was kind of weird. Like Bam
They
had
beat Boston tonight.
No, I think they lost, but they had won 6 straight games up until this point. But you have Bam there. I think Bam is really learning how to be the leader of that squad. I think that was what Jimmy's job was. But now
they did beat the Heat did beat Boston.
They beat them fair.
By 21.
Well, there you go. They
21.
Again, they won 6 straight games. Davion Mitchell was like the kind of point guard that I would assume would be on a Pat Riley style team. And again, they actually have Bam playing his position, right? Like I think too many times they had Bam playing the 5, and Bam's a little bit 5, went out to 5, small for the 5. But when you draft Ware and you can slide Bam to the 4, he's been like extending his game out to the perimeter more. I think that, and I definitely think that that's helping him out as well. So we'll see, but I don't think that I don't think that just because the Magic and the Hawks are 7 and 8 that we have to see the Magic and the Hawks in the play-in. Well, no playoffs. I mean,
would you think something else is gonna happen? I mean, they're pretty much.
I think but I think like as in actually making the playoffs. Like I think that Miami could make it. I mean, I think that Miami could beat Atlanta and beat the Magic in like a one game thing. Even like the Bulls. Like I mean, if Kobe gonna go out there and score 35, it's just a one game scenario. It's not like a whole series. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the 7 and 8 team have 2 chances to win, right? Because if the 8 lose, they lose. They have a chance for the second time. It's only the 9 and 10 teams that have the 1 game elimination.
For sure.
It'll be interesting. Look like there might be some competition over there in the Eastern Conference. A couple more questions before we jump into this bracket here. What do you value most? Championship rings or MVPs?
I think it depends on the conversation, but I would say MVPs.
You would say MVPs?
When it comes to ranking players, I would say MVPs. Because a championship, right? Like, okay, let's say you were on, Gary Payton, right? I know you love GP, but Gary Payton, right? Like, yes, Gary Payton has a championship, but like,
it wasn't GP.
He wasn't like, it wasn't like he won it in like Seattle. You know what I'm saying? So guys I think that how you win your ring, who you are when you win your ring matters a lot. But MVPs, they don't just like a lot of people don't win championships. It only been like 60 MVPs. It probably ain't even been that many. It probably been like 40 MVPs in the history of the game.
So
not many people got that trophy. And then when you start talking about multiple MVPs, it ain't that many people with multiple trophies.
So I'm okay. 1 MVP. 5 times was this player top 3 in the MVP race. 6-time first team All NBA. 5-time scoring and assist titles.
You talking about James Harden versus D Wade?
Who you got in that category?
If you're ranking them, I think James Harden's peak is higher than what D Wade's was. But if you're ranking them as far as like history, lore, you have to put. It's not like it's not like D Wade was on the team for them championships, bro. Like
how can you say Harden's peak was better than what
won an MVP?
Wade? Dwayne Wade won a Finals MVP. He went down in the finals.
Cedric Maxwell has a Finals MVP.
Good call. Cedric wasn't Dwayne Wade. They didn't put the ball.
I didn't say he was. I just said Cedric Maxwell has actually no. The refs need that Finals MVP, but that's a whole nother conversation. The refs, D Wade and the refs need that. The refs need to be holding that trophy up with him, but that's a whole nother conversation. A whole nother conversation.
The refs,
to be holding the trophy up with him.
That's funny.
But if I'm ranking them, because I do think D Wade is on the list of best players to never win a MVP award. But Harden, if we look at what Harden was doing in that 4 to 5 year stretch, it's kind of crazy, bro.
It is. Oh, don't get me wrong. I was heartbroken when OKC traded him for a measly $5 million because they didn't want to pay the give him 60 mil. So
they didn't want to give him the full max. I think he wanted. I think that at that point in time the max was 84, and they wanted to give him like 78 or something like that. Because they don't want to go into tax.
Yeah. Come on, guys. And he went out that next year. Was it the very next year that he won an MVP?
Yeah, no, it was like it was like 4 years later. But he was like,
he was balling. Like, you saw it right away.
Balling. Like the first game, he had 40 points. It was like, oh shit. Damn.
Yeah. I was like, why? He was great. Granted, how long did he want to come off the bench? How long would he wanted to come off the bench? But he was great in that third person role for OKC.
For sure.
Scott Skiles had no idea what to do with them. But yeah, and then my final beef with you before we jump into the bracket, Carmelo Anthony.
What are we doing? I know you about to say. I know you're not about to say he shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Granted, the NBA or the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Why would Melo not be a first? Why would Melo not be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
On his NBA career?
Yes. Why would he not be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Why is Tom Chambers not in the Hall of Fame? You put Carmelo.
I know you're not about to say Tom Chambers better than Carmelo Anthony. I know you're not about to say Tom Chambers better than Melo, bro.
I mean, come on now.
I know you're not about to say Tom Chambers better than Carmelo Anthony, bro.
He might be 5,000.
I know we're not doing this. I know we're not doing this, bro.
Tell me what Carmelo did.
Top 75 all time. Top 75 all time. 10-time All-Star. He's been All NBA 6 times. Scoring champion. That gets you a first ballot Hall of Famer.
How many?
Paul George is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And that shouldn't happen. How many times did he lead his team to the conference finals?
Once.
The conference finals. Once. In how many years? 13 years?
Okay.
That's Hall of Fame worthy? Come on, man. It's not like they was.
T-Mac was first ballot Hall of Fame. How many times he lead his team past the first round?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Again, I started with the NBA is one of the most lenient Hall of Fame.
We can't do that to Carmelo Anthony, bro. Carmelo Anthony deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, bro.
Not on his NBA career. Not solely on his NBA career.
How many 10-time All-Stars you know? That's a lot of All-Star teams, bro.
But Carmelo, I mean,
you said Tom Chambers, bro. That's disrespectful.
Their career was.
I know it wasn't, bro. No, it wasn't.
I mean,
no, it wasn't. Their career is not that. No. Melo deserves it. Shout out. Now, to me, it's crazy that Melo's been retired that long. Like he hasn't played that long. Or
do you have to wait? It's not like
I thought it's like 4 or 5 years.
In the NFL, it's like 5 years. I know that for certain.
Yeah, isn't it like 4 or 5 in the NBA too? It feels like he's been on the court, like he was on the court in 22, but I guess he wasn't.
He was trying to play. He was in 22. Nah,
he was with the
Lakers. Bron didn't never go get him. Bron didn't throw him that lifeline. Why you think Bron didn't throw him that lifeline?
I mean, he couldn't play anymore at that point in time, but like, you know.
Well, he could sit out there and shoot that jumper. That's what he was doing in OKC.
That's about it, though. At that point in time, it was over with.
Okay, so he played 13 years. He was done in 8 or 9.
He wasn't done at 8 or 9, bro. Stop, bro.
Man, come on,
Stop,
man.
bro. He wasn't done at 8 or 9, bro. Melo gave you at least a solid 12 years, bro. At least
he was a fan favorite. He was a fan favorite. He carried the torch after Allen Iverson as being a cultural icon. But I mean, there was a lot of useless, worthless points out there. A lot of
Melo played on some winning teams, bro. The only reason that you think Paul Pierce has a better career than Carmelo Anthony is because he won the championship.
That doesn't matter.
I didn't say it didn't. I'm just saying, like, if Paul Pierce can go first ballot, Melo can go first ballot, bro.
Paul Pierce, you just said it. Paul Pierce was on the championship squad.
Okay, but come on, bro. Paul Pierce also played with 2 other Hall of Famers. How many Hall of Famers did Melo play with?
Yeah. He played with Iverson, right? He played with a Big Shot, didn't he?
You think the version of Allen Iverson he played with is the version of Allen Iverson that we all know and love? Now, granted, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, those teams, that was still
wasn't bad. I mean, listen, those teams did win 50 games. It wasn't like they were bad teams. They were not bad squads.
Okay.
You gave him Chauncey Billups, who was probably more fit for him in that offense, and you go to the West Conference Finals. And then after that, they started taking away pieces off the team.
I mean, but
the worst decision,
you're supposed to lead the team.
The worst decision that he made was asking for the trade to New York. He should have just signed to New York.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
he should have just signed to New York. He forced a trade.
Yes,
and they had to trade all those pieces to get him. And then the team that they built was like a pretty older team, and they had that one good year. And then Shump gets hurt, the guys get old, and the worst decision. He should have just played the contract out and just signed there and not actually get traded there.
Yeah, but New York was rolling too. He kind of, I don't want to say he messed up the rhythm because your boy, the Jude now, Stoudemire, he was getting off there.
He was balling.
He converted. No, I'm not. He converted himself, right?
I know.
But no, he was balling there before Carmelo signed.
But also at the same time, Phoenix let him go because they literally said his knees have 2 more years left in them.
And they had 2 more years.
They have a year. He was balling for that first half a year, and then that was about it.
I think it was more so when Carmelo came. Stoudemire didn't get those same shots because obviously Carmelo was coming there from Denver. It was
also paying Omari and Max, and the man's body broke down. So that also has a damper on like what you can do as a basketball team as well.
But I don't know. I kind of think Carmelo, for all the praise he gets, I kind of think he underperformed in some instances. Now, a pure example of it depends on where you go to how your career turns out as much as kind of what you do, how much you put into it. Because if he goes to the Detroit Pistons, I think he has a completely different career. I think they win a couple championships early, and then he's just playing a lot more free. It seems like Carmelo has rabbit ears and listens to a lot of what people have to say, and so he plays kind of tense in that.
I don't think you need to send Carmelo to Detroit in 2004.
Dude, that's
human wise, I don't think we need to send Carmelo to Detroit in 2004.
That might have been good for him.
I don't know.
That might have been good for him. Maybe he wasn't punching cats and running to the other side of the court. I don't know.
Man, that man would have been in them strip clubs every single damn night. We might not have got the same Carmelo Anthony. I don't know if we get the same.
But he was on a team with veterans. I hear what you're saying. He was on a team with veterans, and hopefully they could have impressed upon him what it took to win right then. Because they needed scoring. They needed that 25 points that he brought to the court every game. They needed that. Those Detroit Pistons needed that.
Yes, I feel you. And again, that's probably one of like the bigger what ifs. Like we don't know what that Pistons team would have done. Well, I don't even think it's really a what if because that Pistons team should have at least be back-to-back champions. I think that they should have probably won the next year when they played the Spurs. So I don't even know if it's a what if for real, but that's probably one of the biggest what ifs in probably NBA history. What if they pick him instead of Darko Milicic? But also, Larry Brown didn't like playing rookies. So but
he needed points. He would have needed points.
But Larry Brown also didn't like playing rookies. I mean, like if we remember those that Olympic team, they had Melo, Bron, and Wade on the squad, and decided to not play them. They were playing Richard Jefferson and fucking Lamar Odom over LaMelo, Bron, and Wade. We get our ass whooped by Argentina and Greece. So I'm just saying, Larry Brown was part of that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there. But that is a huge what if, though. What if Carmelo goes to Detroit? That's what they needed. I thought that's what they needed. So can you see where we are?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so we left off.
Great matchup left.
We left off. This is the first Voice of the Fans NBA one-on-one competition brackets. Since this was a big talk of the NBA All-Star game, I thought, why not let's put our own bracket together and see who will come out together on the NBA one-on-one competition. So here we go. This is who made it left. We got Edwards against Booker. We got Harden against Adebayo. DeRozan against Durant. Some of this went out with some controversy, fans. You guys going to have to rewind and go back to the show on 319. We got Banchero and Tatum. We got Giannis and Cat. We got Cunningham versus SGA. We got Randall versus LeBron. We got Anthony Davis versus Kyrie Irving. Some teammates, current teammates. So let's start with Edwards versus Booker. And Edwards.
That's a tough one.
I don't know. I don't think it's that tough. I think I go Edwards here.
I don't know, bro.
Against Booker?
I don't know, bro. The one-on-one Book is probably crazy, bro.
I mean, that would be a good. These are all ones. I didn't mention one's easy matchup here.
That would be a crazy one, but I do think Ant is a better defender. And again, you got to guard somebody, so I'm fine with putting Edwards. But it'd be a close ass matchup.
More consistent too.
But it would be a close ass matchup though.
Harden and Adebayo. I'm leaning Harden here. Handles get to the rim.
Yeah.
Shoot a jumper here.
Yeah. I gotta go hard.
DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Durant.
I'm going Kevin Durant, but it would be a lot closer than what people think it would be.
Yeah, I think Kevin Durant, his size is gonna win him lot of these matchups. And the final guys, I'm in the bracket. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. I'm going Jason Tatum.
Over Paolo Banchero?
Yeah. I'm going Tatum.
You think Tatum is the championship got him fired up or what?
Nah, I think he's a better one-on-one player.
I think Paolo will back him down. Tatum can't stop Paolo.
And Paolo can't stop Tatum. I think Tatum is a better one-on-one player.
Okay. All right. I was looking at the size of Paolo. Here we go. Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. Oh my goodness, this would be a great one to watch. Another great one. But
I'm gonna go Anthony Davis just because of size.
No, you can't go Anthony Davis. How is Anthony Davis gonna get to the hoop?
Huh? On Kyrie?
Exactly on Kyrie. Yes.
How is Anthony Davis gonna get to the hoop on Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, what you gonna back him down? You don't think Kyrie's gonna rip him one of those times when he's trying to back him down?
No. I'm going Anthony Davis, bro.
Anthony Davis needs help, man.
I'm going Anthony in a one-on-one week. I'm going Anthony Davis, bro.
Anthony Davis is gonna need help. You can't lob this. We're not lob. You don't have nobody to throw you an alley-oop. You don't have.
You think Anthony Davis can't give you two moves and shoot the ball? I'm going Anthony Davis, bro. Davis can put Kyrie on there, but I don't agree. I'm going AD, bro.
Oh, this is a tough one.
I'm going AD, bro. LeBron James, Randall. I'm going Bron.
Over Randall?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hard one not to go with that way. Cade Cunningham, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I'm going Shea.
SGA?
Mm-hmm.
And Cat over Giannis.
This is the tough one.
Oh, come on. You're going Giannis now? I mean, you're going Cat over Giannis?
This is tougher than what you think it is.
Because he's going to step out and shoot. He's not going to come down low? Karl Anthony Towns?
Yes, but I'm going to go Giannis. It's tougher than what you think it is, though.
I'm going Giannis. I don't think Cat's tough enough for this. Look at this. We got Giannis and SGA. We got LeBron James versus Anthony Davis. We got Jason Tatum versus Kevin Durant. Anthony Edwards versus James Harden. Which one you want to go first? Tackle first. These are some tough matchups. Edwards and Harden. I'm going Edwards because of the youth. I have to be honest.
No, bro. I might have to go Harden, G.
I mean, Harden gonna give him some work, but Edwards could probably play better longer. I mean, that's the youth. If we doing it to these players today, right now, today, Harden gonna give him some work, but Edwards is giving. I mean, he's gonna be able to survive a little longer. I don't know. With Harden, how? Let me hear what you got to say about James Harden.
I just think one-on-one is what Harden do. Granted, you can't get no screens in this. But I just think one-on-one is what Harden do, bro.
All right, so let's go Harden. Harden over Edwards. Tatum or Durant?
This is the tough ass one, but I'm gonna go Kevin Durant.
Yeah, same reason his size is gonna gets him to the Final Four.
It's not even that though. I just think Durant can get to any shot easier than Tatum.
Yeah,
and again, I think one-on-one is also what Kevin Durant do.
SGA versus Giannis.
I'm gonna go Giannis
over SGA.
Yeah, he's just gonna run to the rim, bro.
He gonna
hoop like a linebacker and get to the rim.
He gonna get his running start at the 3-point line.
I'm going Giannis, bro.
Giannis.
I'm going Giannis.
All right, you done
Bron
already.
and AD, I'm going Bron.
You done already knocked out my champion.
SGA is your champion.
I had Kyrie win it all.
Nah, I feel you. But nah.
I had Kyrie win it all.
I feel you, but nah.
We looking at how things is breaking down. Giannis versus James, LeBron, Harden versus Durant. Guys, this is for the final 2 spots in the championship competition of the one-on-one tournament for the NBA.
I'm going Kevin Durant and Bron James.
Ooh, I can't be mad at that. Kevin Durant, and you got LeBron at 40 years old to get to the leading spot in the one-on-one competition.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I mean, did you see him just fumble the ball the other night? Did you see the ball fall off his chest and someone around the team go back down?
Yes, I did, but I still think Bron can get to any bucket, bro. I don't know why we do this thing where we act like Bron can't score the basketball, bro. Bron can score the basketball. And then also Bron can still guard you one-on-one, bro. Like if Bron wants to try to guard you, Bron can still guard you.
When he want to?
He'll guard your ass. And then champion, I'm going to go KD.
This would be – what would you pay? This would be better than the All-Star game, a one-on-one competition, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. It would be bigger than the All-Star game. Is it bigger than the first night of the NBA playoffs? The first couple of weeks when you got
if they have a one-on-one competition between LeBron James and Kevin Durant, just one-on-one ones, everybody's watching it.
That's what I'm saying. This is bigger than, I don't want to say the final game 7 of NBA finals. This is certainly bigger than the playoffs.
Because pride gonna kick in, bro. Don't nobody want to get cooked in front of a whole stadium.
And that's exactly why this has never happened.
Exactly. That's exactly why it's never happening, bro. Nobody's gonna get embarrassed and like, nah, G, nobody's ever doing this. It's never gonna happen. They're never gonna let you actually no, it's never gonna happen. But I would probably pick KD in this situation. But if you told me Bron, I wouldn't feel bad just because again, the lights is like popping on.
Right.
You got 20,000 people watching y'all go at it, bro. So you also got to put that into the thing. Like some guys play better when the fucking lights turn on.
Right. So I get more serious. This would be a heck of a matchup. It came down to LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and I'd have to agree with you, Pappy. I got Kevin Durant winning that one.
AD.
But that would be a matchup well worth seeing. I asked you earlier, man, let the people know where they can find you on social media.
As always, man, you can follow me on Twitter at Pappy World, P-A-V World, P-A-V-Y World, all one word. That's my Instagram. That's pretty much everything on the internet. I got new music out. Make sure y'all go check that out. You can go stream it. Just type in Pappy and find it. On wherever you like to listen to music at, all that.
I did see the new video. You shot the video back in Chicago?
Nah, I was in LA.
You was in LA with concrete buildings? Where's you at?
Oh, that was in London.
Oh, that was in London. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I saw that video. Well, thanks again for joining me. Appreciate your time, man. Shout out to Pappy. Make sure you guys check out Pappy when he does his podcast. Check him out, Pat Verbs. You can get all his content right there. Thanks, Pappy. Thanks for tuning in, big dog.
My dog, appreciate it.
All right, holla back. This your man, Cam. Thank you guys for joining into the Voice of the Fans podcast. Lovely to have you here. Let me know. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let me know how you watching the show, how you enjoying the show, how you tuning into the show. But yeah, I want to run down. What you guys think about the NBA one-on-one competition? I thought that was it was a big conversation during the All-Star game, and I thought I'd just bring that conversation here to you guys, and it just got me thinking of a bracket. Who would win that competition? It's interesting that we end up with LeBron James winning that bracket overall. Man, fans, we got a lot to talk about within the NFL as well. First of all, do you guys think that the Bills should pry towards James Cook? Cook apparently looking to get paid like, the Ravens running back Derrick Henry. Do you think the Bills should prioritize or satisfy his request? He looking for, if my reports are correct, between 14 and $16 million. Like, come on, Cook. I understand hitting getting paid while the skillet's hot, but gee whiz, dude, come on. You expecting to pay that right away? We'll see how that works out for you. The NFL in the owners' meetings down in Florida, they've announced some rule changes that we'll get into right now. The passing rule to allow both teams to possess the ball in overtime. Because similar to college, the only drawback is this: if this Kansas City gets the ball and in overtime against the Buffalo Bills per se, like they can drive the ball down and just run 9 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock, kick a field goal, and Buffalo have just that 15 seconds to go. So I like the change, but it still requires the team to play some defense to stop somebody. So that'll be interesting. Also, replay assist will expand to include some new plays. Under the new policy, hits on a defensive player is going to be reviewed. Grabbing a face mask, performing a horse collar tackle, tripping, and running into or roughing the kicker are reviewable plays now. That's going to be happening here in the NFL. So I think that's a good thing. The NFL also passed a rule. The replay assist will be included on those new plays as I mentioned. Also, Sony's Hawkeye system will be introduced to the NFL. I'm sorry, fans. The Sony's Hawkeye system, kind of that system that you see in tennis to let you know if the ball's in or out. That the NFL is going to be now using that system to identify if the ball's out of bounds across the goal line or across the yard mark, first down yard marker. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Apparently, they're trying some of that out in the USFL or the UFL. I'll have to take a look at that. And obviously, they're supposed to be trying that same thing out in college football 12. In the NFL, they're trying to take over. Has the NFL taken over Christmas in your opinion? That's what they're looking to do. And the NFL now, Christmas is on Thursday. Last year they played games on Christmas Day, kind of ruined the NBA day. Now they're also doing 3 more games on Christmas Day this year. And so we're certainly going to see the Chiefs. Who else we're going to see is be undetermined. But we're going to see NFL 3 games on Christmas Day. I think it's 2 games on Netflix and one game on what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the NFL taking over kind of basketball's day, if you will? You guys think it's a good thing or the NFL is king? That's some of my conversation that I want to have. that's the conversation I want to have surrounding around the NFL. This week in history, the segment this week is Toni Morrison wins Pulitzer Prize winner for her novel Beloved. This was March 31st, 1988.
John Severson is here. The last one for me.
Excuse me. April 1st, 1984, popular singer Marvin Gaye was shot to death by a father in his LA home. Tragic. April 2nd, 1855, John Mercer Langston is considered the first African American to be elected to a public office and is elected to Brownhelm, Ohio. 4/2, 1982, host John Thompson of Georgetown makes college sports history by becoming the first black head coach to win a national or NCAA basketball championship. March 26, 1917, Stanley Cup, the Seattle Ice Arena, the Seattle Metropolitans beat Montreal Canadiens 9-1 for a 3-1 series victory to first U.S. team to win the Stanley Cup. This is 1917. April 3rd, 1996, an airplane carrying Secretary of Commerce Brown and 34 other passengers crashed into the mountains in Bosnia. Brown was also the first African-American Secretary of Commerce. March 26, 1973, Bill Walton scored an NCAA record 44 points as UCLA beat Memphis State for its seventh title and 77th consecutive title, and 75th win in a row. They were killing back in the 70s. March 26, 1979, Magic and Bird was the most watched college hoop game. And March 26, 1974, George Foreman TKO's Ken Norton to become a heavyweight champion back in Caracas. What's your bracket look like, guys and gals? What's your bracket look like? Are you guys upset that there's been no upsets? Do you guys miss the upsets or buzzer beaters in this NCAA bracket? Or are you good with the chalk getting all the way to the Final Four? Which would you prefer? Would you prefer somebody getting knocked out? I understand why you would, but it's also nice to just see good basketball, isn't it? What's you guys' thoughts on that? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you missing the upsets or the buzzer beater? Do you miss the underdogs advancing in the playoffs or in the NCAA? As we got this weekend, we got number 1 Florida playing number 1 Auburn, number 1 Houston playing number 1 Duke. Out of the Final Four, I'm gonna go Florida and Houston. It's gonna be 2 number 1 teams. There's gonna be a shootout. We got good basketball coming on this weekend. That's what I'm most excited about. Are you guys excited to have all number 1 seeds, or you're not excited because it's been boring because it's chopped? I'm excited to see Florida and Houston rise to the top. And that Clayton Jr. from Florida, boy, oh boy. I think it's going to be some good basketball, but that's what I'm excited to see most. As far as the women's goes, the women's Final Four, you guys keeping up with the women's Final Four? This weekend, we got number 1 Texas versus number 1 South Carolina. We got number 2 UConn versus number 1 UCLA. UCLA, I think, is number 1 in the country overall, aren't they? So it's going to be interesting to see what Paige Beckers, if they can get over the UCLA hurdle, and South Carolina. They're playing a lot of close games here lately. Can they get through Texas? It's going to be interesting to see. I have no prediction. If I have a prediction, I guess I say UCLA. I'm going to predict UCLA and go chalk. What do you guys think? Do you guys actually like free agency in college hoop? Because that's what we're coming down to. With the NIL deal and the transfer portal, we got free agency in college basketball. As we know, Pippen's son jumped into the transfer portal before his team even played the Sweet 16. We just had another player jump into the transfer portal here recently because he wasn't getting any playing time. So what we have now is just these guys jumping in the transfer portal, seeing who pays them the most, and they're free agency year after year. Do you guys like that for college hoops? That's pretty weird to see, and this is the evolution of the game. Obviously, the guys deserve to get some paid, deserve to have some pocket money, while NCAA is racking up the money for their bowl games, and then this NCAA, the tournament and March Madness and the championship, all this is nothing but a money grab because the sponsorships and television dollars and media rights and all that's involved. It's about time the players get a little piece of it. But I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the free agency in hoop or free agency in college sports. I'm not sure about that. Correct me where I'm wrong, guys. Tell me where I'm wrong. I don't think that's such a great idea, but I understand why it's working. What do you guys think about Kim Mulkey asking a reporter how many Final Fours have you been to? Now the reporter's question, you kind of got to know who you're talking to and kind of phrase your wording properly. I've been into those scrums many a times, and if you're prepared with a question that somebody asked your question, you got to move quickly on your feet to come up with another question. And the way he asked the question, though, you gotta. My strategy has always been to make him think a little bit. And the guy, he asked a question in a way that put her on defense immediately. He said you had lost twice in a row, and now she's on the defensive, and she was defending herself, defending her ground, which I don't know if she needs to do that against a student reporter. But that's what he found himself rolled into. But what do you guys think about her asking the reporter how many Final Fours have you been into? Well, if he's in college, he's a writer. He's not on the team. He doesn't play basketball. Mulkey, that's what he should have said. I've never been on the team. I'm asking you about your team. And that conversation would have went a little differently. But I just thought that was sour grapes. Not a great question by the reporter. Not a great question. But, it's not often you get great questions in that type of setting. So, Kim Mulkey, grow up, learn how to answer the question. Are you guys interested in fans? Let me know again. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything just to share the podcast either. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell to get notified when we got a new podcast out. But I'm interested to know, fans, will you tune in to watch NFL players in the Olympic flag football game? Does that interest you? Now, they can't just play in one game. They'll probably have to play in a field to qualify for the Olympics. And so they'll have to play on a team probably 6 or 7 games during the summertime, maybe before or just before that Olympics take place. Do you guys care to see NFL players in the flag football in the Olympics? That's going to be very interesting. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. Also, something that I'm going to put this in a poll question. Deion Sanders signed a new deal with Colorado. Does Deion Sanders finish that new deal with Colorado? That's my poll question. Does Deion Sanders finish the deal, 5-year deal he just signed with Colorado? And we all know it's college football coaches have moved all over since the history of time. But do we see Deion Sanders being a long-term Colorado coach? Or once there's an opening where his son ends up getting drafted as a New York or Cleveland, does he end up in New York or Cleveland coaching the son again in the NFL? That's a question that we have to be ready for the answer. Alexander Ovechkin is now, I think, 4 goals away from tying Gretzky's record, 5 goals away from breaking his record. Is that a record you guys are looking to be seeing? I'm going to ask a question. Get ready. Do some homework this week, fans. I'm going to ask a question next week. What is the most unbreakable record in sports? Is it the Baltimore Orioles playing? What is it? Cal Ripken playing damn near 3,000 games in a row? Is it the passing record? Well, Dan Marino's passing record's already been passed a few times. Is it the touchdown record? That's been passed up a few times as well. Is it the 2105? Nobody hasn't broken that in 40 years. What is the most unbreakable record in sports? I'm asking you guys that question here in a couple of weeks, and hopefully you guys give me some feedback on what do you think the most unbreakable record in sports is now that we see Alexander Ovechkin about to eclipse Wayne Gretzky for the all-time NHL goal record, which is going to be just amazing in itself. Fans, now we're just weeks away from Fatal Fury taking place Friday, May 2nd in Times Square, where we got Rolly Romero taking on Ryan Garcia. We're going to see Devin Haney take on Jose Ramirez. Also is going to be fighting that night is Teofimo Lopez is going to be fighting Arnold Barboza in Times Square on May 2nd. They're going to make a ring out of Times Square and then have a big fight there. So be interesting if you're in the New York area, get down and see that. Canelo Alvarez, they're fighting on a Friday, May 2nd, because Canelo Alvarez is fighting William Skull Saturday, May 3rd in Saudi Arabia. So we got some boxing events coming up that's actually going to be worth watching here. What do you guys? The Dodgers are 7-0. This is actually the first time a World Series champ had a hot start like this since the 1933 Yankees. Now these Dodgers are loaded. How long can they go before they lose a game? Do you think? How long can they make it? What do you guys think about these torpedo bats? Is it okay? Now the Yankees got off to a hot streak by using these torpedo bats early in the season, and it turns out that they're legal and everybody's using them. How do you guys feel about the torpedo bats? It sounds like it's cheating, but if everybody's allowed to use them, I guess it's not cheating because everybody can use them. What do you guys think about them? The Yankees are now 3-2 after starting off their season pretty hot. Let's see. Yeah, they won the regular season. They won their first 3 games, 4-2, 20-9, and 12-3. This is at home against the Milwaukee Brewers, and now they lost 5-7 against Arizona, 3-4 against Arizona. They're still in New York, but those big donkers have gone away, so it's back to relative. Playing baseball is going back to resorting to the mean, if you will. What's your thoughts on the torpedo bats? Should they be allowed? Are they okay? No grudges with it? Give me your thoughts on the torpedo bats. Fans, want to thank you for your time tonight. Again, we have next week we'll have on. We're scheduled to have on a writer from the NFL. Send me an email or a tweet @_voice of the fans, @_voice of the fans. What questions do you have for an NFL beat writer for USA Today? Let me know and I'll get those questions answered for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. The show, it wouldn't be much without you guys. Thank you guys for your support and encouragement in doing the show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you do me one favor, hit that share button, share it with a friend of yours, share it with your family members. Also, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, just to let me know it helps the algorithms. The quote I want to leave you guys, every night we leave this show with a quote. The quote I want to leave you guys with tonight is, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you get by becoming, or who you become by achieving your goals. That's Zig Ziglar. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Zig Ziglar. Get after your goals, fans. Do what you want to do, man. Do it. Follow your dream. Follow your passions, man. Don't hurt nobody. Do what you love to do. That's what we try to do over here, and hopefully everything will work out for the best for you guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast, and we will holler at you real soon. Once again, hit me up. @_voice of the fans on Twitter, @_voice of the fans on Twitter. Let me know what you'd like to talk about with the NFL beat reporter next week. Thank you for your time. Holler at you soon. Thank you for making our voice your choice.